Grab a beer and pull up a chair. Welcome to the Northwoods Beer Guy Podcast. Welcome to the inaugural episode of the Northwoods Beer Guy Podcast. Today, I am joined by my two co-hosts. First, we have the man with the best voice in podcasting.
Yeah, right.
That would be Brian.
Woo! Howdy. Welcome.
Brian, of the three, Brian is kind of the newest craft beer guy, which now is probably 10 years that you've been doing.
Yeah, I would still consider myself new to the game for sure.
Right.
I mean, I've tried to catch up a little bit, but
still, I mean, from where you were, you've been trying a lot more. He actually buys craft beer now. That shocks me. So,
well, and I'll send a picture to you. Have you tried this one? You're like, yeah, it wasn't bad.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah, it's for sure. The other person that we have here today is Jim. Say hi, Jim.
Hello, everyone. And I'm not drinking a Keystone, just to give you a heads up on it.
well, you had to let that go.
You had to let that go, yeah. So Jim and I have had a lot of craft beers together. We've been probably trying craft beers for, I don't know, 15, 18 years, I bet. I mean, when we first started, it really wasn't as big, anywhere near as big as it is now. Now it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, hey, Mike, I think we've talked enough. I think we need to start tasting some beers.
Well,
I think my palate's starting to get a little dry.
That is a good point, Jim. So basically what our thing is we're going to try probably 5 beers per episode. And we're going to not only discuss how they taste, the aroma, what they look like, things like that, but then we're also going to discuss like the artwork on the bottle or can, on the cap, things like that, just to kind of give people a general, here's what they are and kind of go from there. And then we'll give them a rating. And at the end, we're going to each pick which beer we thought was the best one.
Yeah, that sounds good.
So the first one, we've got 3 that are by O'Fallon. And they kind of intrigue me because they're all about cookies. So the first one that we're doing is an oatmeal cookie stout. So
they're all based on cookies.
Yeah. So I don't know. It could be good. It could be bad. We'll find out. So this one on the bottle, it just says stout, dark, flavorful, 5.9%, 14 IBUs. And basically it's a purple color, and it's got a half-eaten oatmeal cookie on it.
And I see it's from
Missouri. St. Louis, yeah. Yep. Is that an ale too? Same thing?
Yeah. The first 3 are all from the same company. So we'll see how they are.
Looks like a real classic looking label, kind of old fashioned, grandma kitchen type thing,
Boys, I'm kind of disappointed right there.
It's pretty flat.
Straight up. It's not a very good beer to me.
I thought it tasted like root beer at first.
You can taste the oatmeal cookie
right away,
but it's real faint.
Yeah. It's flat.
For a stout, I'm kind of disappointed. I'm missing a lot of the flavor, a lot of the.
Again, it's like Mike said, you get the oatmeal right away, but then it's gone, man. Just gone.
Right.
It flattens
I
right
think
out.
it's part of that cookie that's still left on the bottle there. I don't know.
It's 5.9%, so it's not a real heavy stout or anything like that. But I was expecting more flavor. I mean, you do taste it, but it's not.
It's lacking in a lot of flavor. I mean, it's got a little bit at the front, but then it's gone.
We're doing this stuff at room temperature too, right? I mean, that makes a difference.
It's been sitting for a little while, so
it should bring out a little more
right.
flavor.
That's what I'm getting at, right? It should bring out more of the oatmeal versus being cold.
Dad's Cookie Company. It says on there. I don't know if
it's pretty flat. I don't know. Unfortunately, Mike, I know that you like this little one. I'm not sold on it.
Usually, an oatmeal cookie type beer is good. I mean,
it's not
I've
even
had a
sweet.
lot of good ones.
It's not. There's no sweetness.
It has a real faint, little bit of a cinnamon taste to it, but it could have
fades pretty fast.
Oh yeah, for sure. So
I swear to God, I tasted root beer. That's got to be the oatmeal.
Right. All right, so Jim, I'm thinking that I'll let you go first on what would you rate. So our 5 stars, our 5-star system average is 2.5, and you can go by.
I would have to give it a solid 2.0.
Yeah, I think I'm with Jim too. I mean, I was excited about it. The oatmeal cookie. Usually those oatmeal. I mean, I like oatmeal cookie. That type of flavor scenario. I've had a lot of good ones, but I was disappointed. I'm at 2.0. I can't go much more than that.
Personally, I'd go like a 2.5. I do like it, but I do agree that it should have had a little more flavor to it because it did die off real quick.
Real fast, yeah.
So you are correct there, but I'd say 2.5. I didn't mind it, but like I said, they should have. I was expecting more.
It wasn't offensive, but again, like we talked before, if you want to put a flavor in your beer, put some flavor so I can taste it.
Right.
Don't just kind of wave it across.
What was it, 5.9?
5.9.
I mean, you could tell it had some alcohol in it. It wasn't, terribly weak. I mean, it had a little bit of taste of that.
Right.
But that was about it. I mean, it really was kind of
nondescript.
Nondescript, yeah.
So I'm starting to be concerned about the other two, but we'll see. You never know. All right. So that was the oatmeal cookie.
All right.
So the second one is also from O'Fallon.
O'Fallon.
And it's Gooey
Have another
butter.
one, O'Fallon.
Gooey butter wheat ale.
No, that's the one I was getting kind of excited. Gooey butter. That's
kind
gotta
of
be good.
a tannish, orangish color label, and it again has a gooey butter cookie. It looks like on the label with a bite out of it, and it says wheat ale, creamy, refreshing.
Refreshing.
I don't know what the cookies are refreshing.
It's at
We'll find out.
5.5%.
5.5%, 8 IBUs, so it's pretty low.
What's the IBU stand for?
The bitterness, so your IPAs are going to be a lot higher on that scale.
Right.
Wow, that
Right.
one's pretty
Really light.
pretty light colored.
It almost looks like a Miller Lite from here. I don't know.
I'm sure it probably tastes almost as good, right, Jim?
Well, I am a little partial to Miller Lite products, so yes, I'd have to say that.
We're not being paid for any of that endorsement.
Yeah, no, we're not being paid. We're not on a
Isn't
pro
that
staff
bad?
or anything, so
Smell it. Is it sour?
it smells. No, it's you can smell
I
it.
think
smells- it
it's
smells-
butter.
I don't mind that.
I don't either. That's different.
That
man.
almost has like a butterscotch flavor to
Yep,
it.
it does. That's better than I.
That tastes
different than
like,
what I was expecting.
yeah. I mean, being a wheat ale, I was expecting the normal wheat type taste to it, but this
What is the normal wheat taste? It's kind of a
when you taste it, you know it.
that's wheat.
It's wheat. I mean, it's a different thing, but this almost has a butterscotch.
I like it.
There's the smell, the aroma is very buttery, but the flavor is different than that smell.
You're
So,
right.
but
But it does taste a little bit like obviously butter. I mean, it tastes like butter.
I totally get butterscotch.
Yeah, butter.
I don't get any of like your normal wheat type flavor in it.
I wonder
at all.
if this would taste good
You know,
with
just-
popcorn. I wonder.
on popcorn.
I don't know.
Not on drinking it with popcorn.
No, dude, I bet it would.
You know-
And it kind of reminds me almost of cream soda a little bit.
There you go. Yeah,
That's what it reminds me.
it tastes like that for sure.
cream soda,
Hmm.
buttery cream soda. I like it. I don't. Maybe a little salt in there would be.
I mean,
So again, I fall back on my laurels again to say that if I wanted something to smell like butter, I'd go ahead and get a stick of butter and bite it. I'm not sure I want that in my beer.
but it
I don't
doesn't
know.
taist like butter though.
I'm surprised by it.
I
Actually,
like the cream, like you said, cream soda for
Kind of-
sure,
kind of
or a
taste that.
butterscotch. I don't get butter, you know.
Well, it's
but
better than the last one we just had. By the
It
same
definitely
token.
has way more flavor than
way
the
more
last one.
flavor.
Yes,
It lasts a lot longer.
I would agree on that.
It lasts a lot longer, and you can tell the alcohol content's a little bit lower. And the other one, that's about all I got out of it. I like that one.
Right.
I do. But I think there's other fans other people. Would
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
I mean,
So
I think
have a couple of
colder.
those.
If it was colder, well, you never know because maybe if it was colder, you wouldn't get that flavor either. So I don't know. I think it's pretty good.
Well, you want to go first on how would
On
you
the
rate it?
rating, I really liked it, man. Especially for a light beer, I could drink a few of those. I'm a 3.5. I actually liked it. I did.
Jim,
Yep, I really liked it.
At best, I think it's a 2.5. I think I don't
I'm
know.
kind of in the middle between you guys, but I think it's like a 3.1, 3.2 myself. I liked it. I was surprised. I thought it was more of like a cream soda or a butterscotch flavor, and not so much like parquet or whatever.
I think I'd rather have the butterscotch or the cream soda taste than just a stick of butter.
Than the stick of butter.
It's just a stick of butter.
And it kind of worries me that Jim knows what it's like to eat a stick of butter. So I don't know.
If you ever had corn on the cob and it's just like you're eating that butter, it's the same thing. I'm like,
If it would have been more of a buttery, I would have been. But it did have that butterscotch.
Right. That's what I thought. First thing I thought it was like a butterscotch flavor.
Yeah.
So, Mike, I forgot
Not
to.
bad.
Yeah.
Did we tell the audience what the theme, the flavors were?
Actually, no, and I apologize. These first couple of rounds, we're actually doing beers that are basically kind of based on foods. Cookies, we have a caramel apple, and we have a pancake for this first 5. So
I thought I saw a French toast somewhere. That's coming up.
that's coming up.
Oh man!
Thanks for skipping ahead a week, Brian.
You said food.
Yeah. Yes.
I see pancake.
Yes. So that's kind of what each week we're going to have, it might be, here's 5 from this brewery or this style or
Theme it though.
Yeah, kind of theme,
Cool.
just to make it so they're a little more somewhat similar,
Right.
or at least the same thing.
Category type thing.
Yeah.
I do like the labels on these guys.
Yeah.
It's kind of an old school, like 50s kitchen.
Yeah, I mean, all these first 3 from O'Fallon, they're all very similar. Just different color and a different cookie on the front.
Same fonts.
Same fonts, the same thing like that. So it's, I give them credit.
Old school.
And their bottle cap is all the same as the brewery
Right.
logo. Jim, did you have anything else to contribute on that one?
Yeah, I was going to say, unfortunately for me, I like what's on the inside instead of what's on the outside. So, granted, I do like some of the colors on the outside, but I like to see if there's don't surprise me with what's on the inside, trying to baffle me with what looks on the outside. So that's where I go.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. But doesn't a cool label attract you to a beer and say, that looks good, I'll try that?
I have fell into that trap a couple of times.
Yeah, I have too.
It did not turn out.
I know, right?
So it's give me a good taste with something on the bottle and the packaging, and I'll be there. But
right on.
But I understand where you're coming from. I mean, I know it kind of tells you, are they spend a little more time on trying to give you some good marketing tools with it too, or are they?
I will say this about O'Fallon. They're not over. Some of the ones we've had, they have almost like a novel on the backside of the can or bottle. And like micro print, and you're trying to read what it says. So they're not doing that. But I do give credit to a lot of those companies because some of their stuff they write on there is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And I give them credit.
I enjoy reading it. Too.
Yeah. And I'm not going to lie. I've fallen into it more times than not. You're like, oh, look at that can. Or
Me
bottle.
too.
It's gotta be
That's
good.
why I ask. You know?
Right.
Well, that's really good art. If they spent that much time on the art, the beer's got to be good.
Exactly.
You would think.
You would
think. We have been mistaken, but it could be.
Right.
Okay, well, let's move on to the third O'Fallon, and this is Snickerdoodle.
Have another one, O'Fallon.
And this is a lager. It says Spicy Holiday, 4.8%. So this is the lowest of the 3.
Right.
14 IBUs. So it's same as what the oatmeal cookie was. So it's not over the top, anything like that. So this looks very similar to the.
This almost looks like a Bush Light.
Well, after you pour it, I mean, it definitely has a lager color to it.
Yeah, it's darker than
it's
the
more
last
of
one.
an amberish kind of color.
Definitely darker than the last one.
White head,
more of a
just like what
flavor.
you would think.
Oh, sorry about that.
I taste the spice.
You can taste the spice in that.
What's the aroma?
Snickerdoodle.
The aroma would
lager.
I don't know. There's something.
Have you tasted it though?
Yeah, I don't know.
Holiday spice thing, right? Is what they said.
Yeah, I mean,
this is not Snickerdoodle.
You can tell.
I get the cinnamon.
I do too.
But again,
14 IBUs.
It's low for IBUs because that's the hoppy part.
Right.
I can taste. I mean, again, this one reminds me of the first one where the flavor was actually very faint. I think of the 3, the last one was probably way more flavor, I thought, than what these ones are.
I agree. The second one, the gooey butter.
Gooey butter one.
Yeah, I'm not sold on this, guys. I'm sorry. I'm trying my best to come up with some
out of the
things.
3,
I don't know.
Out of the 3, this is number 2, though. The first one was really flat, right? Jim?
Right. Yeah, for sure. I mean, what I think of we're doing, I'm not hoping I'm not speaking for you guys. I don't want to set the bar down here. I mean, we're like, these are not, in my opinion, really good beers. These are like average at best beers.
For a craft.
Right. This is not really good beer.
This is almost as flat as the first one, not quite.
Yeah, this is not.
Like
I get the spice.
I'm sorry
Right.
for this company. I'm not sold.
Well,
on them. I don't know. This
kind of falls into the. I saw them on the shelf. Went, oh, they're cookie beers. What could go?
Oh no,
It's
not
a holiday
me.
spice beer.
Yeah,
Oatmeal cookie. That's got to be a good beer.
Yeah.
They aren't terrible.
No. I mean, they're
we don't
definitely
want
not
to throw them under the bus. They're not bad.
I'll tell you what. I don't think I could drink a whole bottle of it.
Oh, well, you're talking crazy now. I can drink a bottle of that.
Huh?
It's only 4.8.
Well, no, it's not high ABV. I'm just saying the flavor's just not.
You
very
picked up the spice in it though, right?
Not really.
It was like the first one though; it faded pretty quick.
Oh, it fades
I mean, it's
fast,
kind of
and
like they
way
wave
at
it.
the end.
They wave it over the kettle when they're making it. It's not like they're putting it in there.
Yeah, it's not real heavy. That's for sure.
So I mean,
Right.
I'm
heavy as far as flavor.
for craft beer. I mean, you're making a craft beer because you want to put some flavor in there, right?
Typically.
I mean, if we wanted to go somewhere, we could have a Miller Lite or a Bush Light that have the same thing. But here, if you're gonna make a craft beer, put some flavor in it.
They do have flavor. It's just faint.
Yeah, pretty flat.
That's just
Pretty
my
faint.
opinion. I'm not trying to dog the company. I just don't know. I'm just
Right. Like I
I'm
said,
sorry,
I
I
don't think
don't-
they're bad, but like I said, the first one and the last one, the flavor was faint and then it disappeared real quick.
Yep, I agree.
The second one, it hung around. I mean, that one had more flavor to me.
So
So
I was pleasantly surprised with the gooey butter. That was interesting.
yeah, I was too. I mean,
I really like that one.
When I looked at those bottles, I thought that one would have the least flavor.
The gooey butter.
The gooey butter, because I thought, okay, well, a butter cookie really doesn't have
spice.
Right, thinking oatmeal, stout, and then the Snickerdoodle. I thought, man, those are going to be really flavorful. And
Snickerdoodle, that's gotta be.
Yeah. So
unfortunately, I mean, well, what do you think then? Like, how many stars do you want to give this one?
that one, I'm thinking again, I'd be like a 2.5 on that one. I'd rate it higher if the flavor would have lasted longer. I mean, or been more upfront, where it just kind of it was there and gone.
Yep.
Yeah, and again, I think.
Yep, I agree.
To me, I think you're generous. I mean, I would have won a 2.0.
I'm 2.5. I mean, I didn't mind it. Kind of echoing what Mike said. It did fade out a little bit too fast, which also goes back to what you're saying. You want some flavor. You want something to stick around. You want something to, determine what it is in your palate. It's just like, okay, what is that? Well, that could be, and then it's gone.
Right.
So I'm with you. I'm okay with the 2.5. It's okay. It's
Yeah,
okay.
like I said, I don't think any of the three were terrible by any means.
Right.
But I was just expecting more. Hey,
well, we still got two left, so I think
we're
we're
left. So
I'm excited about this.
the next one that we have is Affy Tapple, the original caramel apple, brewed by Phase 3, a bushel of apples, peanut caramel apple ale.
Oh man.
Ale with apple juice and natural flavors.
Here's your flavor, Jim.
Yeah,
All right,
6% alcohol.
I'm not going to count anything before. I mean, we've been kind of tricked here so far, so let's hope.
When I got this, I looked up online to see what it was, and there is actually a company named Affy Tapple, and they make peanut caramel apples.
The real deal.
The real deal. And
Apple on a stick.
The can, I mean, it's
Look,
got,
you see on the backside, it looks like
it's got a caramel apple, peanut caramel apple. It's got kind of it's got on the other side is, of course, a beer glass. So I'm guessing that they brewed it to taste like the caramel apple.
So they actually have a caramel apple on a stick. You can buy a package of them with caramel apple with peanuts on it.
Yeah, and it's been around since like the 50s or something like that. This company it's like been around for a long time. I was impressed.
That beer hasn't been in that case since the 50s.
No, I don't think it has. But you never know, I guess.
So the can looks cool. It's got a picture of an apple on the back and kind of almost like a Looney Tune cartoonage looking label.
Got a lot of head coming out of there. So my first inclination is promising beer.
With having
it's got a lot of head, a lot of
natural, pretty light.
Yeah, you can't see through. I mean, it is.
Boy, you
can't
can smell
see through it.
You can smell the peanuts. Totally can.
I thought this was caramel apple.
Oh boy, there's some flavor for you. There's some flavor. You first get the peanut butter.
You get the apple.
The apple comes second in that.
You get the caramel.
There's too many things going on there, guys.
Oh, now you're complaining about flavor.
I was going to say, so he sat and was whining about he needed more flavor. Now he's got flavor, and now there's too much.
His head's exploding. I don't know what it is.
There's no pleasing you.
I think the apple is the finish. That hangs on the longest.
I like that.
I mean, you get
the apple sour towards the end, but you
totally get the
caramel.
apple, you totally get the caramel, and you do get peanut. I mean,
that's the alcohol percent.
You get a peanut?
6.
Where's the peanut at?
I totally can taste that.
You come out of the same can there, buddy?
Yep, sure did.
That's good. No, I like it. I like it.
I like that. I think that's good.
That's the tastiest beer we've had.
It is the tastiest beer we've had today. I don't know if I can.
I think you're turning off on the apple, the sour, because that's pretty.
It's not sour though. That's
not sour, but it's got that fruit to it.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm getting a lot of that. I get the caramel and the
right
that side of it, and just as much. Do you think this is a better cold one or no?
I don't know because typically if they're cold, it loses flavor. Because I don't know what it is, but the flavor goes away.
Let me see that can again. Oh, okay.
I don't know
what is it? What's the worst thing you don't like?
What is it that you don't like about it?
Yeah,
I don't know. It's just like it does not. It's not smooth. It's like
smooth.
like a sour apple. aftertaste.
See, I thought you were getting some sour on there. I looked at you when you took a swig and I looked at you, you could tell you were getting some sour.
I can smell some of the caramel. There's a little bit of caramel.
There's taste in it. You can taste the caramel, don't you? I mean, there's an overpowering with the sour apple.
I mean, if you're not ready for a sour apple, this is probably not the beer you want, though. I mean,
I don't personally think it's sour apple though. I totally can get the apple and the caramel.
Absolutely.
For sure, big time. But I don't think it's sour apple. I just think it's like a regular apple.
Maybe I'm thinking of a Honeycrisp that's nice and smooth. I don't know.
Well,
green apple versus red apple.
I didn't look to see what kind of apples they used.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not offensive. I mean, but it's
right. I think you're getting overwhelmed with that apple.
You guys are part of it. It's like it'll hit you in the face.
I saw it when you drank it. That's why I thought you thought it was sour, but I'm kind of like it is kind of sour, but it's not like a sour beer. It layers up pretty good with the caramel.
Right.
Right. Yeah. I mean, right now, I think of the four, that's personally, I think that's the best.
Yeah. There's way more going on here than the last three. So
for sure.
I like it. Well, Jim, what do you think? Oh, wait.
So we'll let Jim start, and then
where this
then the adults will
be in the
basement. Yeah. So, Jim, give us your thoughts on the Affy Tapple.
The Affy Tapple.
Taffy apple.
Give us
I think it's a solid 1.9.
I knew he was going to rate it lower.
I think it's
a solid. Rate it lower than the other one.
Oh God! I don't want sour taste. I'm just not a sour.
But it's not sour though. That's the thing.
It's somehow. I mean, you get my palate must be. It just does not taste.
I mean, of course, you don't drink ciders or things like that. So if you're not, you haven't really drank many apple beers, you probably wouldn't care for it.
Right. If you like that apple flavor, I mean, this is probably your beer. I mean,
well, I think
it's got a lot of great stuff going on if you're into that.
Right.
So
if you like apple beers, I think people would really like this one.
Apple fruit or any kind of, it doesn't even have to necessarily be apple. I mean,
right. Just if you like a caramel apple, I think you'd really like it.
Absolutely. The caramel's there.
Oh, for sure.
I like it. I'm a 2.8. Could be 3 easily.
I'd go 3.
Yeah, I'm okay.
I think
with
it's
that.
good.
There's a lot more going on with this one than what we've had.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And Jim's gotta, bitch about it.
Exactly.
No, he just doesn't like the sour. He brought that up.
Yeah.
He doesn't like that. And I don't think it is sour either, but it definitely has an apple taste to it.
For sure.
All right, so can we move on to the next one? Maybe
All right.
It depends on palate. So this is not going
We
good.
are moving on, and Jim can take credit for this one. He brought the last beer in this group.
Oh, is this the one we brought from the beer shop?
This is from the beer shop.
Okay.
And it is by 1840 Brewing.
Have you had it?
I have not. It was, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the beer shop had just got the shipment in.
I think so.
So it's
nice.
So
new beer. It wasn't on tap or anything.
So this has a lot of writing on it. So we'll have to start on one side and work our way around. But this is Uncle Buck's Pancakes is the name of the beer. Barrel-aged imperial stout with coffee, maple syrup, almonds, and vanilla beans.
Oh, it's got it, right?
Oh,
as long as it's not too much maple.
There we go, buddy.
Now, the last beer was the highest one we had at 6%. This one is a little bit higher at 13.2%.
Oh boy, yeah, just a tad.
There we go. This is in my wheelhouse.
I mean, isn't barrel aged typically have a higher alcohol when you're talking craft beers? You see anything that says barrel aged, expect it to be what?
Well, it all depends, but typically they're closer, at least 9-10% and up. Typically, it depends, but the vast majority are higher.
Can you pour me a little shot?
I have to finish reading.
No, you can pour it. You can still read.
I have to read here first.
All right.
Oh man,
beer aged in bourbon barrels in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, historic neighborhood of Bayview. It gives their address. Then it says barrel aged imperial stout ale conditioned on Stone Creek coffee beans, Wisconsin maple syrup, Ugandan vanilla beans. And almond. It drinks like a breakfast spread, including pancakes, black coffee, and fresh baked biscotti.
All
right.
Bottled on 2/7 of 23, and there's a turtle, and it says drink slow beer. So this should be in Jim's wheelhouse.
This should be right where we want it to be.
Because Jim likes slow beer.
This is a sipping one, then, is that what to say?
This one will be a little bit.
Oh boy, that's dark.
That's it right there. That's what we're talking about.
That's a coffee dark right there.
It's not as dark as we had a beer one time that was called Old Motor Oil, and it looked like old motor oil. So it's not quite that dark, but it's definitely a dark brown.
This is like synthetic motor oil.
This is like synthetic, yeah.
It smells good, boys. I don't know.
Well, he brought it, so
Wow, you can definitely smell the coffee in that.
I don't know.
Oh, that smells good.
You love it, right? Yeah.
Make sure you wear your big boy pants for this one. You can
That's
taste some
definitely-
alcohol in there.
Ooh, you can tell it's barrel aged
Yeah.
right from the get go.
Yeah,
You know, it's
that's good, ain't it?
It is.
not to be a stickler, but are you picking up a lot of the maple syrup? I pick up a lot of coffee.
A
A
coffee
lot of coffee.
and the
I'm-
barrel.
I'm getting the barrel. Yep, the barrel aged
I mean, you
alcohol
can-
side of it.
Even when you
I'm getting
smell,
a lot of alcohol out of it.
when you
know.
smell the aroma, it has an alcohol smell right to it.
It does.
Right.
It's-
Ooh, man.
But I mean, I don't.
I think I could drink a whole bottle of this. This is
You're nuts.
no, this is good stuff right here.
It's
you can
good.
put yours into mine if
It's
you want.
good.
I'll do my best to finish it up.
Like I said, I
That's
don't
heavy,
pick up.
man.
Oh,
Not like heavy like motor oil, but it's with alcohol. You can tell it's 13 something.
I do, and you can tell
Rooftop.
the vanilla. You can pick up the vanilla, but I thought that might have been from the barrel. But you can taste the vanilla.
You can taste vanilla.
But
yeah.
almonds, I don't know
Yeah.
if I've had an almond beer, so I don't know how that would taste. But I'm not picking up the maple syrup.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, usually that maple syrup is to make it a little sugary.
Yeah,
a little
and
sweeter.
it's
But
usually
I don't know what the
distinct,
overwhelming one is in there. I think
coffee for
yeah,
sure.
the overwhelming taste is alcohol. I'm not kidding.
you're drinking beer. That's what you want, right?
Well,
So-
you want to be able to drink more than one.
oh, I can drink that whole thing right there.
All right, do it.
Well, you're slacking up now. See,
Yeah.
you like the ones that don't have any alcohol. This is good.
Well, this is solid.
I'll take a little bit more.
That's solid.
We pass it on. I'll take. That's a damn good beer right there. I would have to say that's our most flavorful beer so far today, without a doubt.
It
Whether
is-
the flavor is good or bad, yeah,
it
it's
is the most
flavorful.
flavorful. But like I said, I
think
I
it's
really when I
much.
saw it when you first showed it to me, I thought, oh man, you're gonna have that maple syrup. It's gonna be
True.
like
yeah, right.
you know
Yeah.
all that whole thing, and it wasn't like that.
Not
It's-
at all.
The
Whatever they
coffee
used-
overpowered.
Right. Whatever they used to cut down the high alcohol took over the other flavors.
I will say that it doesn't.
I
To me,
agree
it
with
does
that.
not taste like it's 13%. It's not that harsh at
No.
all.
I
But-
think it is.
But the coffee, I think,
Yeah, I mean,
overpowers a bunch of the rest
oh,
of it.
dude, the
you know.
smell on it. Like
That's
you said
total
earlier, you can
coffee.
smell
I
it.
mean, it's
That's a good beer, ain't it?
It's not bad. I mean, actually, the third or fourth sip there got a little bit better, but
Huh?
yeah,
Are you sure?
it's okay.
Ooh. See, this is my wheelhouse. I like this.
I like coffee stouts and I like
Granted,
high alcohol, but
the
like I said,
flavors are not matching what the
Correct.
actual bottle said. So
Correct.
No, you're right about that.
So did we describe the bottle looks unique? I don't think we've ever had a beer come out of a bottle like
yeah,
that, too.
it
Yeah, it kind of
reminds-
looks
like
like a Mickey,
elongated.
taller Mickey's
Yeah.
bottle.
I was going to
So
say it's
small.
got kind of that old style look. I mean, that more of an old fashioned.
Yeah, I like
bottle
look. How it looked. I like
Yes.
the look of it.
It didn't
for
look like
sure.
a normal, just a normal 12-ounce bottle.
Right.
So
it
was cool.
They were trying to change it up a little bit.
I do say I like the label on that one. It was probably one of the better. I think that one and the caramel apple one were my two
Yeah.
favorite
For-
labels and such.
for the marketing part.
Correct. The bottle cap on that's just a black.
Just,
nothing
just
on
the
it. But
configuration of the bottle setup.
Yeah, but
I
the
would have
bottle
tried that.
that they
Just
used.
on that
Yeah.
alone, I would.
yeah, it was a neat bottle.
And I think that's so. I mean, for me, that's we always talk about what's it look like if you want to reach. If you got just a 12-ounce bottle or a can or something that
Looks
looks like that,
exactly the same
Mhm.
like everything
I
else.
would grab the one that looks a little different.
Yeah. I think this is a better warmer. I think it
for
could
sure.
Be, I think it could be warmer than what it is even.
I bet you if I brought, because I do, this is how much of a beer nerd I am. I do have a thermometer to tell what it is, but I'll bet you it's right where it should be, right in the wheelhouse.
I think it's 45 degrees.
Well,
Oh,
typically they say for stout should be 50 to 54, but I think it's close to that.
Yeah, I mean,
So
there is flavor coming out.
I don't think
A
that
lot.
if it was any warmer though, I don't think that would bring the maple syrup out. So I'm a little disappointed in that.
Hey, that's kind of what I was leaning towards. Would you have
Right.
tasted maple
I don't
syrup?
know. I think
didn't
that-
get any maple.
I think the
Maybe
coffee.
just a tinge.
I think the coffee overpowered
I
it.
think the coffee was.
You know,
But I think so. If you lick your lips, there's something there. So there's a little bit of maple flavor. I mean, not.
Oh, I get that.
So
Yeah,
there's
you're right.
but again, like some of the other ones, it's not
It was very
very faint.
Yes.
Yeah.
I give them kudos for the fact that 13.2%, and it did not drink like the 13%.
That's a higher ABV one.
Wow. In your humble
in my
background
yes.
in tasting
Yes.
beers,
Yeah.
you didn't think so. I did. I thought it was all alcohol to me.
Wow.
And I've had 13, 12,
Right.
whatever.
Yep.
That one to me, that was barrel aged, correct?
Yes.
Yep.
I think that really what put me over the edge on that alcohol taste.
Right.
You can definitely tell.
So you're first. Well, how many stars do you think?
For me, I understand, what we're trying to do with this beer. and what they were trying to do with the 13%. I think a lot of the flavors that they put on the bottle were not there. To me, it's 3 at the most, 2.8 for me.
Okay.
I mean, there's a lot going on there. And my overpowering, opinion was the alcohol, the barrel age. I didn't get the almond.
Right.
So that was a little.
So you're a 2.8 roughly.
Yeah,
okay.
2.8.
I would agree with you on part of that. I think I didn't pick up the maple syrup. I didn't pick up the almond. I got the vanilla, but I didn't know at first if it was from the barrel or what it was from, but you could taste it. The coffee it wasn't offensive at all. I give them kudos again because it didn't drink, for my opinion, it didn't drink harsh like a 13%. Personally, I would go 3.5. I thought it was very good.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm right with Mike. I probably would have went even a little bit higher, but I think a 3.5 is definitely, and I think based on the beers that we've drank in the past, it takes a lot to get a beer over in double digits. And then once you get in the double digits to make it so it's actually drinkable, it is even another step up. So I think being able to come up with that, even though their flavors may not all match what's on the outside of the bottle, I think it's still been drowned out by the higher alcohol level. But I think I got to give them kudos for over 13. So I think 3.5 is good for me.
See, well, this is where I got to throw in my two, once again, okay. It might be, 8 years or so that I've been tasting craft beers with you guys. Mm-hmm. Nowhere near what you guys have tasted. That's where the difference is on the palate when you're talking on a rookie, so to speak, versus guys that have tasted how many beers, rated how many beers, tasted that many, different styles.
The highest beer that we've had is 29%. Right.
Wow.
It was Sam Adams Utopia.
Wow.
Yeah. But we've rated 29. Over 500 beers that have been over 10%. So it's just one of those things. The more you try it,
right,
the easier they get.
It helps you understand what you're looking for.
Right.
It's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And it's a fun journey.
Yeah.
So, all right. So that was our first 5. So Jim, of those 5, how would you rate, what were your top 3, do you think, from today, from this batch?
So I think I have a number 1, which was the Uncle Buck.
Okay.
And then I have a 2A, 2B, 2C, and 2D.
Okay. All right. Well,
so one is like
put them?
1A was one is way above. Uncle Buck was one of the best. The Old Fallon ones, I'm not sold on the flavors.
Okay.
And the
gooey butter,
the apple,
the gooey butter.
Yeah,
the caramel apple one.
They were all so.
I was surprised he really went off on the caramel apple one. I thought that was all right.
So I'm getting I think they're all 2.
Okay. What?
The last 4.
So you just said the one that stood out, and then that's how you.
I think the other ones are just not there.
Okay, Brian.
They're not in the same.
What were your top 3?
I think the gooey butter. I like that one.
So that was your.
I think that'd be number 1.
Okay.
And number 2, when it comes to the craft beer and what they're trying to accomplish when they do it, has got to be the Uncle Bucks. I mean, there's no way around it. I prefer to drink a little bit. The gooey butter was a little bit better as far as the way I tasted it. And then it was the red labeled
the Snickerdoodle.
No. I'd have
the
to
apple?
go with the caramel apple.
Oh, the caramel apple.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry.
Yep. There was a lot going on there, and I like that. But.
Okay. Well, say mine. I agreed with both of you on some of it because my number 1 was the Uncle Buck, just because it was drank really smooth for a 13%, and you got a lot of stuff in it, but some of it you didn't get. But I gave it my number 1. My number 2 was the caramel apple. I thought that was very good, and my number 3 was the gooey butter.
Yeah.
The other 2 from O'Fallon I thought were similar, where they had a little bit of flavor in it, and it was gone.
They fell a little short.
Yeah. So okay. So folks, we will post a picture of the beers that we tasted today on our social media. So check that out. And we will be back next week. And we have 5 more beers that are inspired by food. So we'll see if they're better than the 5 we had today. So hope everybody had a good time, and we will see you next week.
Yeah, thanks for listening, everybody. I mean, this is this is our first one. This is our first one. So keep listening.
Just hang in there, and we'll smooth her out.
There you go. Until next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the Northwoods Beer Guy Podcast. If you have a question, a comment, or a beer you'd like us to review, please feel free to send us a message at northwoodsbeerguy@gmail.com. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you're on Untappd, look up Northwoods Beer Guy and send a friend request. Until next week, I hope all your campfires are warm and all your beer is cold.